This is
I was actually just thinking that.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy
and
Jacob's
mixtape. Hey, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
Explosion.
I seriously thought this was a Michael Bay film going into it.
A lot of the movies that this producer did, I thought produced Michael Bay movie was, yeah.
It really feels like it.
Well, when you think, like, they're both very similar styled producers.
Yeah.
Michael Bay just likes his lens flare and grittier
Is
camera
sepia
shit. Yeah.
coloring.
Yeah.
A lot of yellow and orange.
How's everybody going out there? Welcome back to another episode of Tommy and
Am I
Jacob's
crazy?
Mixtape. What?
No, yellow, like, right? I feel like he really likes yellow and orange.
Ish. I mean, it depends on the movie. I mean, yeah, you're definitely with like oh wait, no, Jerry Bruckheimer did Pearl Harbor. I'm actually now. Well, we need to go. Like, okay, Michael Bay produced like Bad Boys with Bruckheimer, didn't he?
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2.
I don't know about the first one. I know the second one. And then Transformers.
I know Transformers. Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm just thinking, like, with Transformers, I'm specifically
Teenage
thinking...
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Which one?
The weird ones with Megan Fox.
Oh, where she plays April, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. With Transformers, I'm thinking about the scene when you are introduced to Megan Fox and she's the hot girl fixing the car. It's very orange and yellow.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but that's not really sepia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, all right. So, but action movies. Whoa.
We're not doing a Michael Bay movie. We are doing Con Air.
Yeah.
Which is
one of my favorites. Come on, you enjoyed it.
It's fun.
Yeah, you dick.
I can't stand Nicolas Cage's accent in it.
It's so bad.
But
what region is it supposed to be? I'm going to show you God does exist. Like, what? All right.
It's like a jacked Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, though, for good old Nicky, man, he was in really good shape for this.
Ripped out of his mind.
Well, Nick Cage, too, like in this era, is kind of like a Ben Stiller. I always forget how in shape he is until he has like a shirtless scene or something. And I go, oh, yeah, you've been in good shape for a long time. And he's wearing the tank top. He's all oiled up in his arms. I was like, and they say that a hero can save us.
That's the only thing missing is that song. Well, the Trisha Yearwood song in this is...
Well, yeah, but you've seen that...
How can I live without you?
Oh, my God. But
what kind of life would that
but you've
be?
You've seen that meme or like that thing going around of does that song fit?
Yeah. Oh, they do it like a hero. The Nickelback. Chad Kroeger, Josie Scott. Yeah. No, it fits in so many things.
The last one I saw is The Mummy 2 when she goes to save Rick from falling into the. And they say that a hero, and the things are falling. I was like, holy shit, it really works for her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That song fucking slaps, all right? That song is actually, I really like that song.
I've been starting to play a new game at work. Because remember that era I talk about? That
we are so off. Yeah,
we'll get back on there. We'll get back, promise. Yeah. But I really missed that era in like the 2000s where it was that music video movie mashup.
Yeah.
I play a game with customers.
Oh, it's like 90s, 2000s, yeah.
Yeah. It'll be like 10 points if you can name the movie.
Yeah.
And people sit there and they go, oh shit, you're right, this wasn't a movie. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I'm seeing Ben Affleck. I'm like, you're getting close. You're getting there. Daredevil.
Is that
Bring Me to Life.
Oh, but the music video itself didn't have it.
Yeah, no, it did.
Bring Me to Life?
Yeah, there's the shots of Daredevil in there.
I wonder if there was two different ones then.
Or I could be completely making that up in my head.
You may have seen like a fan made one,
maybe.
But that song is in Daredevil. It's in the rolling credits.
Let's look it up after. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So we're doing Con Air, released June 6th, 1997.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah. Also, I own this on Blu-ray, and with those special effects, kind of like really blaringly obvious, just shown. It's like I think I would much rather watch it on DVD where like it's like everything's just
A
kind
little
of like,
grainy.
Yeah.
Kind of hide some stuff.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, but even like, God, what is it? Like even Lord of the Rings in high definition.
Oh, yeah.
It has moments where you're like, ooh, this
All like
aged.
all of the like armies marching.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like that looks
That looked great
cringy
15 years ago,
Yeah.
but for those of you that haven't seen Con Air, a quick little synopsis.
Yeah.
Cons hijack transport plane. Little do they know that one among them is a good old boy here to save the day.
He's a Boy Scout.
He's the Boy Scout.
He's Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
And kills just as many people.
They're both wearing tank tops too.
Yeah, but he's got the hair.
Yeah.
Fucking Superman.
But Bruce
hair.
Willis is barefoot.
True. He is.
I mean, so I was joking, like, and I kind of, it's serious, but it's also a fun joke. What I was saying that Die Hard walked so this could run.
Oh yeah. Last week, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, actually no, Die Hard ran so this could soar.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, this was directed. So I'm starting to kind of realize we should really be paying attention to producers a little bit more, because I feel like director and writer on this, yes, are important because, you know, they're like, you know, important obviously, but looking at the producer Jerry Bruckheimer and the stuff that he's done, this is more his like vision and baby than anything.
Why do you say that?
Because he's responsible, like, what did I write down for producer? Top Gun, Pirates of the Caribbean, Armageddon, Bad Boys. Like, I'll pull up his Wikipedia really quick.
I got it.
Black Hawk Down, Flashdance, The Rock, Crimson Tide, National Treasure. Actually, it's funny. He's worked with Nicolas Cage at like 1, 2, at least 3 times.
Well, but in his defense too, because I know that I feel like there are 2 camps for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
I've
there's
heard
the action hero Nick Cage. Yeah.
Well, no, there are people that like him and people don't.
Oh yeah.
But from multiple like interviews I've seen with people that work with him, they really like working with him.
Yeah.
He's fun to work with.
Yeah.
Because he also has like no shame meter. Mm-hmm. So if they're like, hey, we need you to scream like a banshee for about 5 minutes, he's like, okay.
That's his job.
Yeah, sure.
I love it. No, I aspire to be that kind of actor.
Specifically, the one I really remember clearly is when he
Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider, and when his transformation scene, the director was like, it was awesome. He just went for it. Like, he's like, okay, let's go. And he's just screaming in that transformation scene. It's like, okay.
No, he commits. And also, like, Vampire's Kiss, like, I know, like, that's a crazy-ass movie, but, like, he's just so captivating in it.
That's something. That's the one thing I'll say, because I kind of go back and forth depending. He's like my Will Ferrell, depending on the movie, and you know, like
it's like I can see what you mean with that, but you cannot deny that when you start watching a movie with him, you are fixated on whatever the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. But yeah, director.
Well, I guess really quick first, Jerry, talking about producer, like Jerry Bruckheimer, I really feel like this is more like his thing. And like I said, he produced Enemy of the State, Beverly Hills Cop, Kangaroo Jack. So like I feel like Bruckheimer is kind of more of the driving force of this.
Deja vu.
And what like the movies like this is like his like bread and butter type of movie. You know, the over the top Hollywood roller coaster ride.
Yeah. It's a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even like there was like apparently I didn't realize this. I was reading it with him. Top Gun was funded by the military or something. Where
I'm like, you got to get that down before you start making that claim.
No. I literally read this. It was to change the population's perspective from for like the military back to positive from the post-Vietnam stuff. Like literally it's all like America gung ho for a reason to get people back on the bandwagon pretty much.
Is that why we have a really awesome homoerotic volleyball scene?
Yeah. Exactly. God damn it, where did I read that though?
Okay,
No, I want to find it.
Get back on the Con Air.
The movie Top Gun was produced in
talking-
collaboration with the Pentagon to rebrand the U.S. Navy's image of the Vietnam War after the to attract new Navy recruits. There we go.
Okay, great. Let's go back to
This was directed by Sam and West.
Thank you. Who is the legend, by the way, that gave us "Never Gonna Give You Up" music video?
I know.
That bastard didn't know what he was causing.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Rick rolling motherfuckers left and right without realizing it.
Did I ever tell you the time that I convinced my friend to play that as a guitar background in the middle of a transition of a play that I was doing at Cornish? It was the 10-minute play festival, and like as we were like moving set pieces, John from Bonnie and Clyde, he was just playing like guitar background, and I looked at him and was like, "Hey, do you know the chords to Never Gonna Give You Up?" And he's like, "I don't know, maybe." I was like, yeah, and he's like, "I don't know." And then the next transition, and I just look over, and he's just, sorry, okay. Yeah, so Simon West, he directed a bunch of music videos.
It's so crazy how that's a lot of people start.
Music videos? I mean, it's commercials, music videos, because it's smaller, like, it's not...
set pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a small frame,
Yeah.
thing before going into big. But this was actually like his movie directorial debut.
Yes. Also a director for the original Lara Croft.
Yeah. Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Which I remember that being really fun.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie was a good Lara Croft.
It's kind of interesting, like these will even like get into like with Ryder, but like these three, like between Bruckheimer, Rosenberg, and West, they kind of all like wave around in each other.
Yeah, but also with the people that they work with in the acting world, they work with a lot of the same people too, which is interesting.
Which I mean, so it kind of shows that this style of movie and this is very much just like a pocket of Hollywood that people know what they like and how they get what they like.
Yeah.
Type thing. Yeah. Big explosion, boom.
Yeah, Simon West. Nothing really.
When a Stranger Calls, Expendables 2.
The General's Daughter.
Yeah. His early life, he was born in Letchworth, Hertfordshire. I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh, he's English.
Simon West.
All right. This was then written Scott Rosenberg, who we actually have talked about.
West is the only live-action director ever whose first 3 films all grossed over $1 million.
No shit.
$100 million, excuse me.
Con Air, The General's Daughter, and Lara Croft. Huh. Oh, and then it just goes downhill after that.
Hey.
Remake of When a Stranger Calls, not good. The Mechanic, don't know. Oh, there's also a big gap. Yeah. 97 Con Air, 99 General's Daughter, 2001 Lara Croft, which that probably also tanked, or that was probably just panned. It was panned. And then 2006.
Was it panned?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Video game movies just...
Is that this? Yeah,
the translation
true.
Just never,
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's kind of... We're kind of getting into a good era.
Yeah.
Video game adaptation stuff. And then our writer, who we've actually talked about before, which I thought was funny.
Were you not paying attention to what I just said?
No.
It's funny.
Oh, about people working together?
No, you were like, well, your brain was still sitting on Simon West, and I said Scott Rosenberg is the writer, who we've actually talked about before, and they're like, oh, Simon West directed his top 3 movies, or first 3 movies.
Yeah, wasn't listening.
This is what I have to ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have to deal with.
So Scott Rosenberg, we talked about before on episode 54.
Yeah, it was beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
Disturbing Behavior.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like looking at his writing list. So he's written for Nicolas Cage twice. He also then wrote for John Cusack for High Fidelity. I think that's kind of it, actually.
And he also, where is it? Oh, wow. He was an executive producer on the Cowboy Bebop show. Huh. I think he wrote...
Unfortunate. Sorry.
He
wrote Venom. I liked it, too, but a lot of... yeah.
You did the adaptation for Imposter, which I love that movie. It's a really weird 2000s sci-fi...
That's an adaptation of a book?
I believe it's a book.
Oh, a Philip K. Dick book. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, word.
But yeah, that's a really cool.
Gone in 60 Seconds. That's another one of my. I love Nicolas Cage.
You
movies.
just like Nick Cage. You got a boner for him.
Yeah.
I get it. God. Kangaroo Jack. That's unfortunate. But yeah, that's what's interesting too, because it's like there's a lot of these like kind of like well-known, like really, to be honest, looking at all these people and their list of stuff that they've written and stuff, a lot of in the 6s. Mm-hmm. Rating wise, kind of these
it's
Hollywood popcorn movies.
It's popcorn
movies. Yeah, like a lot of popcorn.
It's
movies.
a Hollywood like roller coaster ride, because like Rosenberg is credited for writer on the 2 new Jumanji movies.
I saw that. Jumanji, Next Level.
And Venom.
Yes,
I'm looking at the list right here. So it's crazy. It's like he had a bunch of writing credits.
Did he do Let There Be Carnage? Do you see that on
No,
there?
just the first one.
Oh.
But you see, like his writing credits is like 95 to 2003, and then 2017 is the next one. So like nothing. He had no like. He was may have been producing and whatnot, but he didn't write anything from 2003 until 2017 when it was Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Well, he created a couple things.
I'm looking at his Wikipedia. Are you looking at his IMDb?
I'm looking at his IMDb.
Okay.
So like 2003.
Yeah, I was saying, probably like produced some stuff and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, like creator something called Happy Town, a show that's went on from 2015 to 2017 called Zoo. He was developed and written by.
Oh, interesting.
So he was like dabbling, it seemed.
Here's uncredited revisions on Wikipedia's Armageddon and the General's Daughter.
So like
those are both Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. What next?
Actors.
Oh, how many movies did you see?
Ah, man. So like this is a weird year. I wrote between 50 and 60 because there's just like so many movies. I'm like, I know I watched that, but I don't really remember it because I watched it as a kid. Like literally, like this is the mid 90s is a weird time of movies for me to like really remember like what I've actually like watched.
Yeah, I had to really be strict about it. I got 34 because I was like, I know I probably saw that as a kid at some point, but like I'm pretty sure I've seen The General's Daughter. I know that one for sure. But like where's one like Face Off? I know I've seen it. I can tell you the storyline to it, but I don't remember the last time I saw it. Face Off? Yeah. That's like one of the Nick Cage movies I watch the most. It's one of the where he's most off. Well, both him and John Travolta. Well, I think it's because I love John Travolta in that movie. He's such a great scummy bastard. Yeah. Okay. So as we were saying, this is starring Nicolas Cage. Who's that, Tommy? Cameron Poe. Face Off. We did talk about him in 8mm. Mm-hmm. Most recently, he is in I liked it a lot. Renfield. Yeah, he's fun in that. He's Dracula. He's pretty fun in that. You never watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? No, I haven't seen it. You just need to watch that still. It's so fucking I want to watch it. I would watch it for Pascal. Pedro Pascal is absolutely amazing in it, too. Like, their buddy friendship that blossoms in it is so... It turns into, like, a weird, like, buddy cop... Or not buddy cop, but, like, buddy comedy. Well, it's also like Harold and Kumar type thing. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, also just Nick Cage has got the he was huge. He's huge. You know, he was a huge actor. But now in his older age, he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like signing up for the weirdest shit. All of his like indie stuff. Yeah, like Pig. There's that space movie. The color of space is purple or something like that. Oh, fuck, I forget remember the ad. And this purple flowers taking over his farm, and it's like I think it's like A24 kind of like weird shit. No, he's been doing some A24 stuff. Yeah, he has one coming out that I really want to see where he just plays like an average man, but he's showing up in everybody's dreams. Yeah. You were saying, yeah. Like he's just doing. I really kind of respect that because he always was like we were saying earlier. Like people loved working with him, and now he's like I'm fucking Nicolas Cage. I can do whatever the hell I want. Yeah. Well, also like there was a time when he was just kind of doing everything that he could do because he was like super like in debt. Like he bought like 7 castles. Yeah, he was. Like he's like a super eccentric. Like they kind of like talk about that in the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah, of just like how weird he got with like his stuff. He even like makes jokes about it himself. Well, he seems like the type of guy you'd be sitting there like in his house and having a conversation, and you'd hear like a roar, and you'd be like, "What the hell is that?" He's like, "Bought a bear." Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? You bought a bear? Yeah, like I rescued a circus bear. You want to feed it?
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
His name is Bubble. Yeah, no, he's right over there. Like that's the kind of guy he feels like.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
It's like, what wild adventures are we going on today, Cage?
Yeah. Oh, wacky Cage. But I respect it. Like, I really respect this kind of like, don't give a fuck mentality.
Well,
Like,
what's interesting about it is that it's a true and absolute respect for the craft of acting. Is that he commits to it, and he's always trying to like find weirdly different ways to play a character different, and he's still like weirdly himself in some ways, but not like he's not really like a transformational actor. He's a presentational actor.
Well, but that's even the thing. It's like doing this, especially since we're playing that game where I had to pick.
Yeah.
You know, I really had to sit there and look at the list, and I was just going through Nick Cage's list on things that, you know, the ones I had heard of, and then a couple of and I was like, this dude's career's kind of been everywhere.
Every fucking where.
In action, drama, horror, like everything. Rom-coms. Like
he's won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. You know? And what's funny is like Community has that joke of like Yvette, or wait, no, that's the actress's name. But she's like, if you put me in a bunch of movies and I speak at different languages, eventually I'm gonna win an Oscar.
And I just realized that him and John Travolta both play angels in the 90s too.
When was Nick an angel?
City of Angels.
Oh, that's right.
And then John Travolta was in Michael.
Yeah.
Weird. Because they're in Face Off together. I was just like, that's kind of random. They're both.
Oh, man, I really wanted to start singing Iris, but I can't remember how it goes now.
That's okay. Who did you have next? I put John down.
Which one?
Cusack.
Oh, okay. I have Malkovich second. But I mean...
So, John Cusack, who plays Agent Larkin.
Yeah. I love how witty he is in this fucking movie.
Being John Malkovich.
Yep.
One of my favorite kind of weird crime dramas, Ice Harvest, which you still haven't seen.
No.
Which I really like.
I mean, I love him in like, you know, High Fidelity. I know like that.
Identity.
Yeah, he's great.
That's a
John
great one.
Cusack is one of those actors that I absolutely love, but like when people ask me like who's my favorite actor, he doesn't come forward to mind.
That's so funny because I'm the same way. I love John Cusack. I don't know what it is about him. I love Joan Cusack too. I just love them both.
Yeah.
But like when I think about that, I don't think about them. Like Joan Cusack in Toys, she's awesome in that movie. The Robin Williams Toy
I haven't seen
Factory
that movie in so long.
She's so funny in that. Like, but like John too, he's like
Girls Point Blank, fucking fantastic. Have you seen that one?
No, he was. Remember that movie War Inc?
Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, do you think you'd like that one? It's a weird commentary.
What's the one where he's like, he's an alien? Or no, there's an alien.
Oh, Martian Child?
Yeah.
That is such a cute... You never seen that?
No.
Oh my God, that is such a lovely movie. He's a sci-fi writer.
That's what it is, yeah.
And so
he's
there's
an alien.
There's this little kid at an orphanage that thinks he's a Martian.
That's right.
So they're like, well, maybe you'll be a good fit because you write these worlds and, you know, maybe you can help bring him. And it's this really like lovely little like tale about them bonding because his wife just passed away. And you should watch that.
It's like a growing coming.
Yeah,
like,
that will make you cry.
Probably.
It gets me every time. Little Martian kid's weird, but John just loves it. It's like, it gets me every time. So, yeah.
And then John Malkovich.
Oh, plays Cyrus the Virus.
I am John Malkovich fuckface. Where are the other drugs going?
Shadow of the Vampire.
God, he's great in that.
He's great.
Willem Dafoe is fantastic, but
That's just a great movie.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people.
Burn After Reading. Did you already say that?
No, I didn't say that yet. He's really great in Red.
Yeah, I've only seen a little bit of that, but yeah.
Like
he's like the ex like acid. Like,
well, yeah, they're like Bruce Willis is like, yeah, he retired because he thought the CIA was slowly dousing him with acid for the last 20 years. And she's like, oh, and then he's like, they were.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, well, then he looks fantastic because he's like, he's super like, you know what this means? I'm gonna get the pig. He just carries around a pig stuffed animal. So funny.
John Malkovich, also one of those people that commits to their role in fantastic ways.
Did you ever watch Space Force with Steve Carell?
Oh yeah, yes, he is so good in that. Yes,
the scene I always think of is when he's like the head scientist of this entire program, and he goes up to the
he's surrounded by idiots,
complete morons. But he goes up to like the security guard to go talk to the general, who's Steve, and he's forgot his like identity badge, and so the the security guy won't let him in, and he's like, you know who I am.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, well, sorry, man, I can't. So he's like stomps all the way back to his office talking about the gorilla guardian. He's just so fucking funny. I love it. That's another actor. Again, if you were to say top like favorite actors,
John Malkovich.
he's up there, and I never think about him for some reason.
Yeah, and it's he's so over the top, and Nicolas Cage is so over the top. To have them like against each other in this film is so great.
Well, it's also like because of his like such distinct voice. He's in that movie I've talked about, Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
Which is the Three Musketeers, French, whatever. But it's like John Malkovich, who's supposed to be this old retired French musketeer in France, and it's just John Malkovich. D'Artagnan. You're like, really? Like, no effort there. But what makes it more like crazy is they actually get a French actor to be one of the other ones.
Yeah,
so there's like one French dude in this French like setting.
Disney's like, got it, we hit it, we got one French guy, we're good.
That's not Disney.
Yeah, it is.
The Man in the Iron Mask?
That was produced by Disney, I want to say.
No way. There's the Three Musketeers Disney movie with Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, I know.
Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe I'm just like, maybe in my mind, I've just always kind of thought that. I don't know. Because I've never seen The Man in the Iron Mask.
It's not great. It's awesome, though.
Anywho. All right. I think we can let's just plow through or run through the.
Okay. All right.
So, because we got Ving Rhames, the Diamond Dog, Steve Buscemi. What's the character's name?
The Marietta murderer. I can't remember what his.
I can't remember as well. I should
something really like generic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Dave Chappelle. Yep. Danny Trejo.
Colmini.
Yep.
Who we talked about and Get Him to the Greek.
Mm-hmm. Because he's the
dad.
Yeah. I forget her name, but the guard. She's the like lead actress from like Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the early 90s.
Kelty Williamson, Baby O, the diabetic guy.
Yep. It's just like it's got a huge cast. Even like the pilot is like.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Oh, even Nick Chinland.
Swamp Thing?
No, Billy Bedlam.
Oh yeah,
that guy with the great voice.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. You know, he was like the bounty hunter in Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I recognize him actually from an episode of X-Files where...
I saw that.
And then also the lead pilot, he was also on an episode of X-Files. I can just like, I just see someone, I'm like, I can just immediately...
X-Files.
Yeah. If they've been in an X-Files episode,
It's your Law and Order.
Yeah. 100%.
Is X-Files one of those? Like where like a bunch of people have been in X-Files like Law and Order? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth Green, Jack Black. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so a lot of people.
They are not in this. That's X-Files.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait.
I was like, I need to correct that. People are like, Seth Green, Jack Black's in Con Air. What?
But yeah. So this is I was actually kind of surprised watching it. And
when's the last time you actually watched it?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I remembered it pretty much shot for shot.
That's fair. Did you enjoy it kind of in the same aspect of like how Die Hard is? Like... Because I really put this into like this like into the category like as Die Hard, because Die Hard is such a classic, like Die Hard created action films like this, you know. That's why Die Hard is so iconic and so amazing. But as action movies also like progress, like they just this gets to a state of ridiculousness with like the Vegas like on the fire truck chase scene. That
fucking Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. I was like, this feels familiar.
It gets so ridiculous, but like
it's stupid. But
yeah,
so is Demolition Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they're all really stupid, but it's kind of fun to turn it off and just go, okay.
Well, let's get into the reviews, and then I can go into yeah.
So give us our numbers, and I'll pull it up.
Oh yeah. So IMDb, it's got a 6.9, which is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I thought it was actually going to be more like a lower 7, but you know. Tomato meter reading on Rotten Tomatoes, like review wise, 58% tomato meter, makes sense. But audience score 75.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Those add up. So yeah, for reviews we had 8 positive, 11 mixed, and 4 negative.
Yeah.
For positive 80 out of 100, Rita Kempley at Washington Post. Preposterous, predictable, but excessively entertaining. This frenzied thriller draws both story and characters from such action classics as The Fugitive, Die Hard, The Dirty Dozen, and The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Like, sure, yeah, okay, that all checks out. Who did we? Saloon. For mix, 60 out of 100. Charles Taylor at Saloon. How's the movie? Big, loud, brutal, and stupid. That's how it is. But then you don't need a critic to tell you that. Anyone with a grade school education who's seen the preview can figure this out. And I did watch, because I told Fallon that we were watching this, and she was like, oh, God. And she's like, I want to watch the trailer. And we watched the trailer, and we were both like, yep, this is pretty much what I remember being. Big, loud, and stupid. Who Dallas Observer 20 out of 100 Andy Klein at the Dallas Observer, while Tyro director Simon West fills Con Air with all the slam bang action, well-honed wisecracks that were the more positive qualities of his predecessor, the film brims even more with all their worst qualities.
Yeah.
And I did have to look up Tyro. Novice. It's like new to. So debut director. Yeah. I was just like, what the fuck is that word? Yeah, that was good. It's
interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those movies you kind of just know what you're getting, you know, and it's
this one's funny. Nicolas Cage, Ving Rhames, and Steve Buscemi are among the few performers who emerge with a shred of dignity at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I love Steve Buscemi in this. Yeah. God damn it, my brain shut down. I was going somewhere, and then you interrupted me. It's like every character in this is like an exaggerated form of a cliche.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about it, like Poe, he's a Boy Scout, but he's also the Army Ranger who has like a troubled past, and went to get disciplined, and also that fucking guy at the very beginning is like talking to his wife, and she's like, oh, he's just a regular here, and he's like, yeah, a regular hound dog. And it's because of pussies like you we lost Vietnam. Like, he's such a caricature of like some drunk
podunk redneck.
Yeah. Oh, how do I? That song just playing through random moments of this movie.
So if you go on Amazon,
it's not on the soundtrack.
No, if you go on Amazon, what the little thing, it says Oscar nominated twice, and I was like, for what?
Original song.
Yeah, for the song
and sound editing.
I'm like, don't fuck around with me. I was like, for what? For what? Best performance? Bullshit. And I looked it up, and I was like, you sneaky little bitches! You just slapped that on there
because it was an Oscar nominated movie.
So was my left nut.
Oh, how do I?
But I was like, I just thought that was so funny. They're like, hey, Oscar nominated. And you're trying to pull a fast one.
Hey, man, Trisha Yearwood fucking wrote an original song for this movie that was a banger. Okay, it was a huge hit, and it's played way too much in this fucking movie. Little hype. It's like that, and the guitar, like the inspiring music is like Poe's like, I'm gonna show you God does exist, and he just beats the shit out of someone, gets shot in the arm, but doesn't flinch.
Well, it's like just in the 90s in general, the original.
Oh yeah,
they all had one,
like, more or less, yeah.
Because even like I'm thinking like the Crow had one too, right?
But the other part was like, were these songs like written for the movie, or were they kind of being written and they were like, hey, let's just slap it on the movie?
Yeah, like Iris and City of Angels.
Yeah,
did they write that for? Because I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I can't remember as well.
Because it's hard to tell because these songs became so ingrained with the movie that it's like a
which Paramore song was like for Twilight. Do you remember?
No.
Because I know like there was they were like Paramore was approached to write a song for Twilight. So was My Chemical Romance, and they turned it down. They're like, fuck, no, we have integrity type thing.
Hearts beat fast, colors. That one? How to be brave.
Maybe. I mean, I've never watched any of the Twilight
Well, that's
movies,
also,
so.
but Twilight's a weird one though, because there are so many bands like Muse. There's so many songs that became and that's when they're playing baseball. It's like such a.
But you see, most of that is generally like that's like the producer, like director, like I want this song on this spot.
Well, and I know that Stephanie Meyer was like, these are the bands that I want in the movie because this is how I was writing it.
Oh yeah, she was like My Chemical Romance a lot. Yeah.
Listening to them at the time. But
it's like My Chemical Romance.
Well, that's what I guess what I'm saying with Twilight is that there's so many like actually big songs from big names that I don't remember all of them.
That's fair. I mean, going back, it's like so Trisha.
Yeah, sorry, that was Twilight.
Trisha Yearwood wrote "How Do I Live," which was Oscar nominated.
Which is such a weird song for this movie because you're like, oh yeah, this all started from him defending his wife's honor and legally not being able to fight because he's a special.
Which is also such a fucking like. It's so like simple, like the way that it's like the prologue of this movie of him like getting in the bar fight and then oh my god, this guy's dead. And then all of a sudden they like talking to his attorney, horrible fucking attorney. He's like, if you plead guilty, you only get like a couple of months of blah blah blah. You're sentenced to 7 to 10 years minimum,
like 15 years, like
Con Air.
It's definitely it's 90s.
It's like, let me force feed you the plot right now. And then like,
well, I mean that is a thing though, right? Like people trained in certain things are not allowed to.
They're
but it's also like I get that, but it's like even the judge too. It's like they were attacking you and your wife.
Yeah, he was getting.
I thought if you can defend yourself.
But did you see? Okay, if the knife was left, that's the whole thing. Like the knife comes out, that's when he goes into violent force more.
Yeah.
But then the knife is dropped, and the people that were like that jumped him, they grab the knife and run from the scene with the knife. So now there's no proof of this man actually trying to kill him. Now it just looks like he just got in a bar fight.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's kind of like what I feel they're trying to allude to. Otherwise, they wouldn't put so much effort into like showing the knife come out, the knife drop, and get taken and picked up by the people. You know.
Yeah.
So,
trying to really like solidify
how like fucked
he's fucked now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
my birthday's on July 14th. I get to see my daddy on July 14th. Move where the bunny gets it.
Okay, wow, you just jumped to the end of the movie. No, I was just thinking
that's not even the end of the movie. That's like 3/4 through.
I was like, actually, wait, there's a lot more. This movie,
it keeps going. It doesn't stop.
This is one of those movies where it's really not that long, but it feels like an eternity
because so much happens.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty good pacing.
It is. I'm gonna say it feels like an eternity. You're just like all of a sudden it's over, and you're like, where was I just now?
You're like, okay, this has to be the end of the movie. Nope. This has to be the
plane crashing into the Vegas Strip. It's all right. It's gonna be done. No, not at all.
Well, I was just thinking about it in the beginning too, where he's reading out his baby girl's letter. Shut the fuck up, God. I really want to know why that was the decision. It's like you could have just been Nicolas Cage. You didn't have to do this. Hey, Bubba, you know, like
baby o. I got a friend here who likes that pink stuff you bring. It literally is like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, like it's Forrest Gump in a different universe. Oh my God, he's a vet. He's a vet too. That is so funny.
Oh fuck!
I didn't even think about that.
It's Forrest Gump in the multiverse. Okay. Man,
that's awesome. I love that.
So what's interesting is that you could try to like go into like this movie is one of those movies that you can't really like dig too deep into. You can be like, well, it's a commentary on the prison system, blah blah blah, because of how John Cusack's character is, you know, as is he FBI?
He's a marshal.
That's right, he's a marshal.
He's a marshal.
And then Colm is DEA.
Yeah.
Because yeah, this is like the whole thing of like this airplane that is meant to transport just strictly convicts. It's like John Cusack's character's like baby, like he's like designed this whole thing, his project, and
yeah, and it kind of gets lost. You're like, wait, why are you so concerned with this, John?
Yeah,
you kind of are. Like at a certain point, like all the civilians are pretty much dead now.
Yeah,
you only got like 3 people left on there that aren't, and that's another thing. It's like because you don't really find out what Baby O did. No, but it's like. It's just like funny too. Like it kind of goes into your caricature thing. Every single person on this plane is like a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, no,
like,
they're convicts.
Yeah, like,
and Baby O and Poe are the only 2 good guys,
and they're the 2 nice guys. But it's like
but one is dying because he's got to get his insulin, but he's going into diabetic shock. Also, I love like that's like Poe's like entire thing is just he's trying to just keep Baby O alive.
Yeah,
like he doesn't like it's when he's running when like they're in Lerner Airfield and they're like doing the whole like fighting against the military thing, and he's like running through like avoiding like the explosions and whatnot just to get he's with insulin. He's just literally trying to get the insulin to his friend.
Yeah, that's all. That's all he's trying to do.
Yeah, oh man. And John Malkovich, just like I think the thing is that the reason why I really, really love this movie, honestly, is because each character is such an exaggerated form of that, like of the cliche. Like John Malkovich, the character that they wrote for Cyrus the Virus, I think is just amazingly written. Like how well spoken he is, but he's an absolute psychopath. Mm-hmm. He's super intelligent. He got 4 degrees while he was in prison.
That was a cool scene, yeah.
When they're like introducing all of the people, and it's like Cyrus, also known as Cyrus the Virus, killed this many. He's 39 years old. Has spent 25 years of it in our system, and then
he is a product of the system.
Yeah,
obtained 4, like you said, 4 PhDs, and you're like, oh, this is a bad.
And Coleman, the DA guy's like, fucking Mr. fucking Library book over here, like, and also he's an exaggeration of like that, like. The cop that's like, these are all, like, they're all fucking convicts. They're all bad people,
Yeah.
Like, he's oh, God. You have John Cusack, who's like the sympathetic one, is like, no, like, they're product of the system. And also looking at like Poe is like, he's just an unfortunate person. Even as they like go through, like, they introduce Cyrus the Virus, Ving Rhames, they're looking at Denzel Washington for the movie. And then you get,
what?
Sorry, that was a quote from John Cusack when he's
okay.
Diamond Dog. He wrote a book and whatnot. Eyes through a diamond, whatever. They're saying that they're looking for Denzel Washington for the movie.
Okay, yeah. I was like, what about Denzel Washington? He was in this. What?
And then all of a sudden, and then Poe comes off, and Cole McKinney's like, "Who's that guy? Cameron Poe flying home. He's a nobody." And then, like, literally just, like, tossed aside. He's like, and he's the one that saves the day. Which is, it's on the nose writing. It's so on the nose writing. But it's interesting still.
Well, it's like, it's like funny, too, because there's times that we talk about on the nose writing as being a problem. And it's like, it fits here.
Because
I don't need that much to accept this world that we're living in.
Exactly.
For this.
Because we're already on a plane full of a bunch of convicts that we know inevitably is going to get taken over by the convicts. But now is the how and the why.
Yeah.
And then I never picked up fully on this the amount of times I've watched this movie, because this has turned just kind of like more of like it's a background.
You don't like watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Santino hired Cyrus to do this whole thing to get him out of jail, pretty much. But the whole guys is that they're going to go off together. Like, all the convicts can get free, but they're going to have their own private plane. But Santino's fucking over Cyrus.
Yeah. I never even noticed that as a plot point.
Same.
Never.
Same.
Anytime I watched it.
Also, like, but the funny thing is, like, knowing, like, I always picked up on that. Oh, Cyrus is talking with somebody. He's got plans for the plane. There's the secret messages through the eyes of the last dinner and whatnot. All very... like, so clever. It's so ridiculous.
It's kind of it's like Vincent in Salt and Sea.
Yeah.
Where you're like, there's this weird, and especially in this era too, there's this weird idea of the serial killer mastermind where everything they do is in codex, and it's all obviously it's a picture of the Last Supper. It's got to be religious. It's got to be Christian based. You know, where you're just like, we get it. We know. Like, psychos like Christ. Okay, fine.
And it's at this point where you kind of realize, and then John Cusack's character is literally just trying to play catch up the entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's actually well structured for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I would say, one of the better, like, 90s action flicks, like, in this realm. Because also, I mean, in this time period, this was a huge saturation. Yeah. Because you had these ones. You had
so many Schwarzenegger films coming out.
Well, what I was going to say is that you have the Schwarzenegger, the Stallone, Nick Cage dabbling.
Even though, like, I mean, they were obviously more like 80s, early 90s. Like, Nick Cage is kind of taking this is like him taking the reins of it.
And like but then you also, like, I'm putting the 80s and the 90s just together because this is really the, you know,
it's kind of like a melded point in your head because that's because of when you were born.
But I'm like also like because you had these big blockbuster huge names, you know, doing these movies, and then you had like what's his name? They also call it Skippy. Listen to it. Skip.
Oh, fucking Steven Seagal.
Yeah, and then you had like Steven Seagal, Van Damme, this other like B offshoot that were also pumping out this just action movies everywhere. Yeah. And some were big blockbusters, some were these ones. And
Under Siege.
Yeah, you know, like, and then you had I kind of lost. Then you just had ones that were actually kind of well structured. And I know I said it earlier, but even like Demolition Man is a well structured action movie for what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you got to look at. I think it's actually coming down to like who's producing it. Like Jerry Bruckheimer. You know, he really his like those movies are all like fun. Like Bad Boys is a great movie. Pirates of the Caribbean, great fucking movie.
The first one.
Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah, that's the first. Yeah,
he produced that one.
Yeah, he produced that one.
The first one's
good. Like. Armageddon, you know, Armageddon is so over the top, and just this movie and Armageddon are kind of like hand in hand of just like the exaggerated characters being put into a weird situation. You know, it's like we got to get this person, we got to get this person, we got to get this person.
It's not a weird situation. It's a really extreme,
like world ending, or no,
you're stuck on a plane with a bunch of murderous convicts, and you have to hide the fact that you're not one of them.
So many. Why are there so many motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane?
Yeah, there you go. That's actually another good example of just this really extreme, weird situation.
Yeah,
you know.
It's so
what a fucking weird movie.
I know.
Snakes on a Plane.
I've never actually seen it.
I've seen bits of it, but it's just like the whole concept.
It's snakes on a plane.
No, but it's like a drug dealer is like a drug cartel guy is trying to stop
I don't really know what the storyline is, and I don't want to know it. I actually just want to watch it and discover it. To be honest,
it's so weird. It's weird. I've seen bits of it, and it's such a weird fucking movie.
Okay. We didn't even really talk about fucking Steve Buscemi's character. So, okay, I mean, it's interesting because, like, you have Cyrus the Virus, who's, like, criminal mastermind.
Yeah, he's the Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Ving Rhames, who is...
an activist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
the gorilla, like, what they say, he was the general of, like, the Black Guerrilla...
militia
or something. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And he's an exaggerated form of that. You have Steve Buscemi, who's an exaggerated form of like a Hannibal Lecter, who also gets free at the end because he's in Vegas.
Yeah, he pulls a Hannibal Lecter, and is just sitting in Vegas, and having a cocktail.
Yeah,
that's funny. I didn't even think about that. Just blends into the crowd.
Yep.
You know? That's still one of the most terrifying scenes in a movie.
What?
In Silence of the Lambs, when he just hangs up the phone and he just
disappears
into the crowd. I was like, that right there was an amazing shot. Like I remember that sticking out. But yeah, then you have Danny Trejo, who's like a
Johnny 23,
a sexual predator, animal basically.
Don't treat women like that.
Well, yeah, like and that's even like the caricature of it too, in the sense that like all this shit's going down, but he has to make sure to try and go get her one more time.
Yeah,
we're like. Guns are going, explosions. Like, dude, get out of here. Like, so, But yeah, then Poe fucks him up.
And
Billy was kind of boring.
He's fodder for the.
But what is this crime again? He found his wife cheating and he went and killed her whole family.
Yeah.
I guess that's the man scorned.
Yeah.
Super extreme.
I mean, he's also just kind of fodder. Like, he's the first one that kind of discovered, like, because like Poe's trying to mask that he's going to be free so he's
paroled.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like, he since he's the only like good guy on the plane, he feels this moral obligation to stay on and make sure that.
Well, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
he's a Boy Scout.
It's training. He's like special ops. Like, yeah.
So he's trying to keep the facade up of him being like this like bad convict like the rest of them. So when Billy discovers that he's on parole, he's got to kill him.
Well, I was just thinking, actually, doing the soldier thing was actually a really good idea, because you could have really just made it easily written that he was a guy in a bar fight accidentally killed him, and then but it's like adding
the circumstances of him being an Army Ranger specific,
is like, okay, that's why he feels this obligation to help the situation. Because if he was just a regular Joe, you'd be like, dude, just fucking chill.
No, that's also like when they're talking to his wife, like, your husband had a chance to get off the plane and he didn't. Do you think there would be a good reason for that? And she's like, well, there definitely is a good reason, and he's on there. He stayed on the plane for a fucking reason.
Because he's Superman.
Not yet. Never happened. All right.
It's happened now.
That's true.
Yeah, he talked about that on like some like interview.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's not how any of the shit that I filmed was yet.
No, that doesn't.
Yeah. Even the Swamp Thing, the pilot guy, like, I love that he can drive anything, he can fly anything, It's like everyone has their like little gimmick.
Yeah.
And Baby O's is unfortunately literally just being like the black friend. Like, we don't know anything else about Baby O.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? We didn't get even a dossier thing for him. Like, I'm feeling like fraud. I feel like something real white collar. I don't really feel like he did anything super crazy.
It could have been like a bad drug bust or something.
Sure.
Too.
Yeah. He seemed too nice, He
exactly.
Chill. Like, he didn't seem like a hard
possession of marijuana, probably.
Yeah, 97. Yeah. It's like he just didn't seem like a hardened criminal. He was just like a dude that got.
But it's also funny.
Over.
Is like how almost all of the guards just treat all of these like prisoners like they're just pieces of shit as well.
But that's why it's weird. Because it's like, okay, so you got this whole transportation of these criminal kind of thing. And I could be completely wrong because I don't really know how the whole system works and everything. Yeah. But you were talking about high security, level 10 criminals. Cyrus the Virus. He's so bad they call him the Virus because he infects everything. You have, granted...
Diamond Dog.
Who's like an activist, but they pretty much kind of imply that he's a terrorist as well.
Yeah.
Like, blown up shit.
Yeah.
You have Johnny 23, who was a convicted sexual predator of 23 known victims. That's why he goes by that name. You're talking about some serious shit. Yeah. And then you got Poe and Baby. He's like, no, I feel like you would have
but that's why they're in cages.
Everyone should be in a cage if they're that bad. And then the other people put on a bus. You know what I mean? I just thought the mixture of the like low minimum security and the maximum security, I'm like, I don't feel like you'd mix the two.
But that's what makes it an interesting movie.
I know, but I was just like, that was like something I was like having a hard time.
Like, why didn't they use the Eagles to go to fucking Mordor?
Yeah. So I was like, I don't think you'd mix these two populations together.
Yeah.
I think it would be everyone in a cage and a guard standing with a shotgun next to every single one of them. And it's like,
or giant taser, yeah. Because also that was a big thing of John Cusack, is like he didn't want there to be
firearms.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like, you move funny. You know, like...
Also, I like the organization and how they do take the plane is actually a very well orchestrated, like...
Oh, yeah, like the heist.
Yeah.
The heist aspect.
Like Pinball, Dave Chappelle, like lighting the guy next to him on fire. Like, also just like the whole thing, like him like holding in his, like down his esophagus, a fucking match and like a little bit of like gasoline pretty much. It's fucking smart, Also, I like when... after like all this stuff and whatnot, like the DA guy who has the gun on the plane like is holding Pinball hostage, and Cyrus calls him like a two-bit crack fiend or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And the gun sit there and he's like, you didn't mean that stuff about, crack fiend and whatnot. He's like, is that gun loaded? Yeah, he grabs the gun. Yes, I meant it. Or no, give me that gun first. Yes, I meant it.
He's such a baby in this too.
Dave Chappelle?
Yeah,
I know.
He's so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking at him now, like I didn't realize how like he really like.
Oh, when he ran away to Africa, he bulked up.
Yeah, no, he's just a skinny dude.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how skinny he was.
Yeah,
like back in those days.
Back in the half-baked Dave Chappelle show days.
Yeah. That's a funny show.
We're at 55, so
okay.
Yeah.
Look, it's a very well, like you said, it's a very well crafted action movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. We talked about it before with like Die Hard, I'm sure. It's any one of these action movies we've done in the past. Like Bullet Train, the amount of fucking people that get killed.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like so funny because it's like if you don't really know, you don't know. But it's like, oh yeah, they crashed on the Strip in Vegas. Do you realize how populated the Strip is every given moment?
Oh God, we didn't even really talk about the fucking full out climax. Yeah, no, that Strip with like
they annihilate half the Strip.
Yeah.
Which is thousands upon thousands of people at any given moment. And it's just kind of like in these action, at the end, it's like the song and the breeze. It's like, I just wish you could make an entire sketch show about the news report after these.
It's been done.
Okay, I've never.
Yeah,
but
it's been done. I mean, it's such a thing.
Tragedy today on the in the Vegas Strip. You know what I mean? It's like in these action movies, they never ever really touch base on.
I'm pretty sure like SNL's probably done stuff like that.
But it's just like.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Not to like discredit.
No, but it's just in these movies, just how casual. Well, like actually,
it's like they take the soundtrack out, and as he's like sitting there talking to the police, you just hear, "Oh my God!"
Here. Golden Raspberry Award, worst reckless disregard for human life and public property award. It won it.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
The one, and then it also was nominated for worst original song on the Raspberries.
How do I live without
We gotta
you?
really start paying attention to the Raspberries more because the categories are so fun. Worst reckless disregard for human life and public property award.
That is awesome.
I'm like, this would, dude, you realize how these gotta be funny to watch.
I bet, yeah.
Just that we're ripping apart shit.
So really quick, I know we're kind of running a little bit late, but like the ending sequence of this movie gets so over the top. Because you would think like they crashed the plane, nothing more can happen really. Mm-hmm. But Diamond Dog, Cyrus the Virus, and Swamp Thing all are escaped, like hijack a goddamn fire truck, and immediately Poe sees it, and he just goes and takes a police motorcycle, and also John Cusack sees it, and all of a sudden then they see each other for this, and now they're buddy together, and then they just take off, and the cops just look over like, huh? Oh, we gotta go get it too. And then the cops just join the fucking the chase, just like without. It's not like a hey, what's happening? Huh? Oh no, we gotta go do this too. It's so like just accept what's happening. As they're like going, Nicolas Cage drives the motorcycle into the end of the fire truck and it explodes to kill Diamond Dog. But every other motorcycle that hits the road doesn't explode at all. And then somehow Nicolas Cage is holding on one-handedly on the ladder because he's got a bullet wound in one arm, and he's just hanging on, just like switching back and forth, somehow gets the leverage to break the stick that Cyrus is trying to stab him with, and then stab him through the leg, and then handcuff him to the ladder, which then, when they crash, sends Cyrus somehow flying into some type of wreck yard from the Vegas Strip, and then he gets crushed by a weight. Like, is that supposed to be like the like mechanical stuff of like the lights that move in Vegas or something? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like the cowgirl.
Yeah, it's like a counterweight thing. I guess
that's
that's what, I don't know what he lands. It looks like some type of wreck yard because there's rocks getting like.
I didn't even really put that. I just, at this point, I think my
brain is so shut off.
It's just like.
It's
Smash head. Yay.
Yeah, he said, "You got him, yay!"
Caveman go smash. You know, like it's such because it becomes such a caveman movie.
Exactly.
Your brain just
no, it's like and like
fire.
It's like so like all of just like clearly green screened ridiculous stuff. Even like John Cusack like flushing out Swamp Thing with a fucking fire hose and whatnot.
Yeah, this movie at the end just becomes caveman. You know, me give wood, you give fire. You know, like it's just like because of the fact of so much is going on, and we're now at plot twist 4.
Yeah,
you're kind of like, okay, sure. We went from a plane. We not only because it's the plane crashes, and then we have a like you said, a straight up SWAT team fire battle.
Yeah,
like in the kill box. You know, they're planning out, blowing up this and that, and then we jump to you. By the time you get to the fire truck, you're just like, sure. So when his head gets crushed by some random piece of machinery, you're like, okay, that adds up. You know, like you just kind of shut it down. So. But it's like that's kind of what these blockbuster movies, you know, especially is like, and I'm sure, you know, it's like we being our age straight men that grew up on this shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just such par for the course and we're just really used to it.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of like, yeah, sure. Whatever.
That's what I'm here. I'm here to look deeper into like where it has actually always bothered me is when I realize it. Once it's one of those things, once you realize it, I will literally be sitting in my bed at night trying to go to sleep, and I will be like, where the fuck did Cyrus end up? What is that spot? Where is he?
You need to get a hobby if this is keeping you up at night. God damn. That's your existential crisis?
Sometimes, yes.
Jesus.
It's better that than the actual existential crisis that I have.
That's true. That's actually true.
Because you know the ones that I get.
That's a good one to have. Just in the dark. How did he get there? How did he get there? All right, let's wrap it up. Let's get
man,
carrot and then, you know.
I mean, my personal, it's like a 4.5, you know, but
okay.
It's not. I do say it's like a solid like 3, maybe 3.5.
I'm okay. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I'll agree with you
because
on
of
that.
what the movie, like the action, what it is an action movie, and it knows its identity. It lives in it super well, and. Yeah, but yeah, it's just an adventure,
and it's a well crafted adventure.
Yes,
like we were just saying, by the end when you start getting into the fire truck.
And this is what the final thing I wrote. It's a Hollywood roller coaster ride that doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, and like you were saying too, it's like it's well thought out, like how they get control of the plane, and then you know what I mean. It's like,
and the actors that they got to play these people, because these caricatures of people could have been so much worse. So like just not played to the sense of like making them believable. Like these characters felt actually believable.
Yeah, they were caricatures, but they didn't go like too hard into it where they became comic booky, cartoony.
Even though they kind of are.
It's not like crazy.
Yeah.
And like a lot of this stuff that we've seen, you know. But yeah, so I think I found the movie I want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of 1985's Better Off Dead?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Damn it. What a wild movie that sounds like.
It's a crazy movie.
It sounds with John Cusack.
It's really dark.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. That's going to be a fun one.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was trying to do one that we both had. I had never heard of it. But yeah, it's 1985, John Cusack's Better Off Dead. I'm not going to say anything about it. If you're curious, go on IMDb and read the synopsis. I read it's got a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. But I read that and I was
baby
like,
John Cusack.
I was like, this sounds buck wild. Like, pitch that to a studio today and you're getting fired.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm really like very curious.
I'm stoked.
We're going to have to do a couple little warnings at the top.
Yeah.
So if you're curious, I'm not going to say anything about it, but yeah, we're going to be doing Better Off Dead next week because I'm very, very curious about that movie.
It's going to be kind of in the weird same vein as like I feel Death to Smoochie.
Yeah, and I was kind of getting, towards the latter half of Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Where it gets really existential and like weird, and they're like trying to be funny. I don't know. But yeah, so join us next week for Better Off Dead.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny that we both found a movie that we weren't sure if the other person had seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since I was like in high school though. So
Okay, cool.
it's gonna be like a fresh watch for me.
All right, cool. So yeah, follow us on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Our link trees on all of our posts, so you can find where we're streaming on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, yada yada.
Yada yada yada.
Well, because I actually don't even know all you do all that. I don't even know all of them, to be honest. But yeah, so next week we're gonna watch 1985's
Better Off Dead
with Baby Cusack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you for listening and watching.
Yeah.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Bye.
What kind of life would that be?